right. We're going muted.
All right, well, it's 5 o'clock, and this is the beginning of our weekly town hall for the YMCA of Snohomish County. I really appreciate those of you who are already jumped on, and we'll just wait another minute or so and let a few others log in and join us this evening. So thanks for coming aboard. Well, you know, I'm showing 5:01, so I think it's time to get this underway. Thank you again for joining us tonight. I'm really excited. I think we're gonna really have a great conversation, if you will, this evening. So thanks for being a big part of it. I am Jennifer Willows. I am the Chief Development Officer for the YMCA of Snohomish County. I've worked for this YMCA for about 14 years. I've lived in the community and raised my kids here and served in other organizations, and I take a lot of pride in this community, and I'm happy to be part of Snohomish County. So if I haven't met you yet, it's nice to virtually meet you, and I hope we have a chance to meet at some point in the future. So if at any time this evening you feel like you'd like to join in, ask a question, have some thoughts, there is a chat feature that's part of this. So please feel free to just jump on there and make a comment or ask a question. And we will try and monitor that this evening so that we can be a part of it. And you can also be a part of it and join in with your thoughts. Speaking of being a part of it, I want to share with you a little bit. Being a part of this discussion this evening means that you have a relationship with the YMCA. And what I hope you leave our time together this evening with is a real deep understanding of how you can transform your relationship with the Y into something bigger. Something that will lift up this community and help us continue to support this place called Snohomish County that we all call home. One thing that this current experience has really elevated for me is what's fundamentally important to me and the choices that I have in terms of what I invite into my life and the actions that I take in response to those things. And I think there's kind of, there's a stagnant way to take on things, and there's a proactive way to take on things. And what I think you're going to learn this evening is some ways that the Y is really taking a proactive stance and reaching out and joining our community where they are and supporting our community. And I want to underscore to you that the Y is all of us. All of you on this call, you are the Y. It's not myself, and it's not just the staff that are that make up the Y and that have the ability to really influence positive change in this community. Each of us play a role in that, and the fact that you're part of this call tonight tells me that you're interested in taking that active stance and joining the Y in supporting and lifting up community. So my thank you for joining us is really deeper than just that superficial, hey, thanks for being a part of it. You are part of what makes this community better by being connected to the Y and lifting up the work of the Y. We have had a reduced, I know you've listened to other town halls perhaps with our CEO, or you've talked with other YMCA staff and volunteers, and you know that we've had a reduction in our staff team recently, and there's a little phrase that at least I've been kind of thinking about in my head, that they is us. Sometimes you think, oh, well, they'll take care of it, or they'll do the thing, or oh, there's a problem, well, they got it. It's really become apparent to me that the they is really us, and that us in a lot of ways is the YMCA. So if you want to do something positive, if you want to reach out into community, if you want to support your neighbors, it's not a matter of waiting for some they to step in and do it. It's a collective. The they is us, you know. And by joining the YMCA and being part of our work, we lift up the collective us and move things forward. So I have, let's see, I have 5 people who are joining me this evening. 4 people who are joining me this evening. Thank you. I am going to introduce you to Megan Proust, who is our Senior Director of School-Age Childcare. And I'm going to introduce you to Gail Jabot, who is our Senior Program Director. And Terry Huffer, she is our Active Older Adult Program Director. And Pam Shields, who is our Executive Director at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Some of you may have met Pam. She's been on other town halls. She is our seasoned town hall professional this evening. And I suspect if you've been connected to the Y for any length of time, these other 3 women may be familiar with you already. So hopefully you're seeing some familiar faces here. So before we get to that, though, I do just want to underscore a couple of the baseline things here. Our YMCA facility branches continue to be closed. But at the same time, the Y is not closed. Big Brothers Big Sisters is not closed. And by that I mean the work that we do continues on in the community. There are very active programs happening throughout the community. And that's a lot of what we're going to share with you this evening. And, you know, as you hear things that are interesting to you, if you resonate with something, you know, ask more questions, join in and be a part of this. You're going to learn about our childcare work when you talked with Megan. And you may well be, you know, talking to somebody on the phone in a few days, and they might say to you, I'm kind of struggling with finding some childcare. I have a friend that needs childcare. I want you to take the knowledge that you learned tonight and make it an active thing. Be the they. Be the one who connects the support and work of the Y with the needs of the community. So listen to what they have to offer, and then, you know, let's all act on it and make it more real out in our community. We don't know when our YMCA facilities are going to open again. I can tell you that we are working hard every day. Our staff teams and the branch boards and the board of trustees that steward this organization are putting a lot of thoughtful energy into what it's going to be when we open and how we keep our members and our program staff and volunteers safe and having all of the opportunity for connection that they've become accustomed to at the Y. So when we get the go-ahead from the governor, whenever that might be, we will be excited to greet you again. But until then, as I say, you should know that we continue to do a lot of really good work in the community. This format, this town hall format, is something that are relatively new. He's moved beyond his first 100 days, so I think he's now moving into that senior stretch of his tenure with us. But our CEO, Peyton Toon, brought this concept to us as a way to really invite people in and have a conversation about what's going on at the Y and through the Y into the community. So I hope that you enjoy this, and we will look forward to any kind of feedback that you want to offer. And there, as I said, there have been a few already. So if you miss some and after tonight you're like, oh my gosh, that was so awesome, I want to sit down and listen and watch some that happened before, they are available for you in the news section of our website. So if you go on to our YMCA SNOCO website and then click on the news section, you will find the recordings of the previous town halls. So one more little bit of thinking before we dive into the conversations that we're going to have. You know, you may kind of wonder, why does the Y respond to community needs? I mean, it's kind of a simple base question, but we could like a lot of businesses and other organizations, have been effectively forced to close our doors. You know, this is an unusual time, and a time where, you know, shutting down operations is, you know, if an option doesn't quite feel like the right word, but it's become normalized for all kinds of reasons that we may be uncomfortable with. And the Y conceivably could have done something similar. But you know, that's just not how the Y shows up. The community relies on us to be there, to be a force for good, to step in and fill the gaps that are needed. We've done it in this community for 120 years. We've done it as an organization for 175 years, and in America. And if you look back, I think last week Peyton really dove into some of the history of the Y. It's just in our nature, and it's, you know, to say we're called to it, that feels a little fluffy. It's just the work that we do. And again, the we is bigger than just us staff. So it's the work that you support. It's the work that the YMCA is here to offer. And we will not close our doors in all ways. You know, we will continue to be there to support everything that the community is going to need, that we have the skill set to deliver. I hope that kind of comes naturally to you, and that you're hearing me speak and you're saying, yeah, I understand, Willows, move along. This is like super just what we know about the Y. So if this little piece of my conversation tonight is boring you, frankly, that makes me feel good, because that tells me you totally get it. But just in case you don't, I want you to understand that's the work of the Y. If there are seniors out in the community that are feeling disconnected and isolated, we're going to reach out. That's just what we do. When buildings get closed and people have to self-isolate, we still have teens out there in the community that are desperate for connection and that are looking for an adult to support them. And that's what we do. That's where Big Brothers Big Sisters, and you know, they step in and they make sure that those important matches are still happening. And when you're sitting on the couch feeling all flabby and you just went through your 6 bag of Cheetos, you know, that's kidding. I only do 3 at a time. Then, you know, you look to the Y for some inspiration and some joy and some connection. So, so our facilities might be closed, but our work is not finished here. So with that, I'd like to turn our attention to the first topic, and that is really around childcare. And I'd like to introduce us to Megan Proust, who is our Senior Director of School-Age Childcare. Hi, Megan.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
This is a privilege and an honor to be able to share the hard work that all of our staff have been putting in for the last 6 weeks to a couple months. So it's a huge privilege and an honor to be able to share their stories.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. I have put up a couple of images here, and as Megan is sharing with us, I'll have a few images for you all to look at, just to help bring to life a little bit of what she's going to share. So first of all, what caused the Y to launch our emergency childcare programs, and how are they different from our traditional programs?
Great question. So for those of you who can remember back, on Friday, March 13th, Jay Inslee issued an order that closed all schools across the state of Washington. That required families and caretakers to find alternative ways to educate and care for their children. When this happened, this created a huge gap and an essential need for our first responders, healthcare workers, and essential service workers, and they needed a safe place for their child to go. So as the Y does, and one of the reasons why I love working for the Y, we see a need, we fill a need. So by Monday, March 16th, we had turned our before and after school care programs, our 22 locations, into 10 emergency care programs. We were able to very interestingly pull together school districts, pull together people, pull together staff, curriculum, and learning as much as we could about the CDC, Department of Health regulations. So keeping our kids and our staff and our families as safe as possible.
It's wonderful. So what age range? What age range of kids are you serving?
So we serve children 6 weeks through 6th grade. So think early education and elementary school.
Wow, that's quite a span.
Yes,
Um, yeah, and maybe you mentioned it, but how many childcare sites do we have right now in Snohomish County that's providing this kind of care?
we have 11 emergency childcare locations all across our county. We have multiple sites throughout Everett, Mill Creek, and Mukilteo communities. And we also have sites in Monroe, Marysville, and up in Stanwood.
Really spread out. So how many families, kind of on average right now are we serving?
So we have served more than 300 families. About 150 of those families are first responders and healthcare workers who are receiving emergency care free of cost. We've served about another 100 essential workers throughout our community. That also includes our school district essential workers. Think food services, the people who are still feeding the children in our communities. And then we have been serving some at-risk families as well. So our McKinney-Vento families, any family that is on subsidized childcare is receiving care so that they can continue to work as well.
A real wide spectrum of families, I am sure. So what does a normal day look like in childcare? What's going on?
There is so much going on. We really see our space here in the emergency childcare realm to create a sense of normalcy and to create a support system for the kids that we serve. So as you can see in front of you, we've gotten very creative in how we keep our kids social distanced. Every day before anyone comes through our doors, and the only people allowed in our programs are the children we're serving and the staff that are working, everyone goes through a full wellness check to ensure that they are healthy to come in and serve children. So it's asking questions, doing an overall check, taking temperatures. Anyone that does not pass the wellness check, we ask to not come through our doors for the safety of the children and families we're serving. You can see the kids on the left-hand side are doing their distance learning. So as schools closed, every district came up with a plan to continue instruction and learning while schools were closed. Most of that turned into about 3 hours of distance learning a day. So our staff help support kids through that distance learning in the mornings. We see that as their opportunity to get all of their homework done and continue on the track through school. After that, we really want our kids to be kids. So they have opportunities just to play. We have some free choice time where kids can draw, create, build, play, run, giggle. And then every afternoon, we do have one structured activity, very hands-on experiential activities, either in STEM, arts, literacy, critical thinking. What our staff are being trained to do and do a really good job is help to build the social emotional skills needed and the resiliency skills for these kids to come back through this crisis stronger than the way they went in. When we think of the different age groups, definitely the early learning does very much more age appropriate for them. They have different classrooms, so infants, toddlers, preschool, pre-K, and they are all age and developmentally appropriate activities. Clearly what you're going to do with a 2-year-old is going to be very different than what you do with a 12-year-old. Our staff are very well versed in what we call dress it up or dress it down. So you take one basic activity and you can engage a 5-year-old and a 12-year-old at the same time.
That's magic right there.
Our staff are magic.
Yeah, there's so much to be proud of there. Our staff are amazing and they are fantastic. And at the same time, I don't believe that we do this all alone. Do you mind sharing a little bit about some of the partners that we work with to make this magic happen?
We have so many partners. And I will say one of the silver linings for me around this crisis has been the partnerships. Whether it's our school districts that we are partnering with to get the technology so kids can do distance learning. Our school districts are also providing all of our kids with a breakfast and a lunch, so they ensure that no child goes hungry. We have community partners that have donated masks, donated toys, donating things that we can sanitize with as well. It never ceases to amaze me the compassion and the help that comes when others are in need. So when they see families in need, the Y steps in to help, and then our community backs us in that. We get gratitude from some of the seniors that works with Terry. We've received face masks from all different kinds of organizations, and those are homemade. They made them thinking of our kids and our staff.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. So tell me something. As well, do you have a little story? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but is there any family that kind of comes to mind, or any experience that comes to mind that you want to share? And I'm happy to move along. Like I said, I don't want to put you on the spot.
I think there's so many. As we and our staff kind of go through this and the stress, what keeps us going are those moments of gratitude. We hear thank yous and gratitudes from our families all the time of the essential service that we're providing, and not only that we're doing it, but we're doing it in such a compassionate and high quality way that they know their kids are safe.
Yeah.
There's one specific family that really resonated with me. This was maybe 2 days after schools had closed. No one was providing care anywhere. The YMCA of Snohomish County was the quickest and the best, in my opinion, to respond. We had an ER doctor reach out to us who, their partner works in a lab that actually was doing the COVID testing, and they were scrambling to find care. They, before COVID, had a babysitter and a nanny that was taking care of their kids. Everyone who had been taking care of their kids, because of the risk that their children were in, because their family members were coming in direct contact with COVID-19, said they could no longer care for their children.
Yeah.
And so the Y being able to step in to support people like that is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So just 2 more quick questions for you. We don't know when or exactly how, but we do know that this too shall pass, right?
Yes.
And we know that there's going to be kind of a little dial up as we start to move toward businesses beginning to open. And so what does this, sort of slow start back look like for you guys? What are you thinking?
So we are very excited for our families to start going back to work. And we know with no school, that puts most of our community in need of support. And so as kind of the rollout plan comes out and our families start going back to work and they need childcare, we are going to transition emergency care into what we're calling spring camp. So opening our doors to families in our community that need care in order to work. And we are going to keep that spring camp rolling until our summer camps kick off on June 22nd. So we are hopefully going to slow grade into hopefully a level 3 release where we can have more than 50 children out at camp.
Wow. Well, camp is such a special program that we offer kids, and I hope maybe, we may well have a town hall just on camp. The history of WISE, providing camp, the role we play, the critical element that brings to a child's life, and you guys deliver it like nobody else. So thank you for that. Hey, lastly, Megan, if somebody wanted to get involved with the work that you're doing or needed some services, what can they do?
So the first thing, as Jennifer mentioned earlier, if you hear of someone who is unable to work or needs additional supports through childcare, go to our website, have them register. We are very easily through a link with our amazing marketing team. We have gone completely digital. So it's a simple paperwork packet to get yourself registered. Share as much information about what the mission and the vision of the Y is. And I know all of you have been asked before, but continue to give. We know through our emergency care programs that we are providing an essential service, but we're not getting paid for it. So we need to make sure that we do not come out of this helping mode in a deficit so far that we can't sustain out of it. And then the last thing I would say is if you get any emails requesting you to sign an initiative so that money can go back to essential childcare providers, sign it. There are lots of funds out there that are still decided on where they can go. And we hope that those funds could go to support programs like the Y that are providing essential childcare services to families in need.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
that's some really great examples about how the they is us, you know, it's up to us to make this happen, and you guys are doing a fantastic job of it. So thank you very much. If you would like to sign off, I don't know what your evening holds. I know you start early in the morning with kids, so if you would like to sign off, I would welcome you to do that, but I'd love for you to stay with us for the rest of the conversation.
No, stay the whole time, Jennifer.
Okay, sounds great. Hey, who's next? Look at this. It's our good friend Gail Jabot from the Everett YMCA. How are you this evening, Gail?
Oh, super wonderful. I'm pumped up after hearing Megan talk and wondering how I can be as eloquent as her, and getting a little nervous now, actually, to tell you the truth.
You
Lots
be
of
you,
feelings,
Gail.
lots of feelings, yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard this thing called Why at Home. I've heard of it, you know.
I mean, the best thing since sliced bread, that?
Mostly people posting on Facebook about how much fun they're having. So so let's explore this a little bit together. Could we do that?
Absolutely, love to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So let's just start with the fundamentals. What is Why at Home?
Well, that's exactly what it is. Pretty much, in a nutshell. When we realized that we could no longer provide services inside our facility, we needed to provide our services in your home. And when we knew people were stuck in their homes, my first thought is, I still have to get my face in there. I still have to reach them and keep them active and healthy. So really, it's just our website platform where people can be active and healthy.
Wonderful. You know, I forgive me if just for a quick bounce around, but I see in the chat box, I should have caught this.
Yeah.
And I've still got Megan here with us. Somebody's wondering if you could quickly repeat the locations where we have childcare, just the cities, and then they can go to our website for the details.
Yeah, if you go onto the COVID website, it lists all of our specific locations, but we are throughout Everett, Mill Creek, Mukilteo, Monroe, Marysville, and Stanwood.
Perfect. Thank you. Gail, back to you. I feel like a newscaster, and I'll pitch it over to you. So thank you for that, Gail. And when and why did this whole Why at Home thing start? What caused it to get going?
Literally COVID-19 caused it to get going. We started to notice members were having to make choices to stay home, especially high-risk members, way before the governor put a stay-at-home in order. And so our response started then. A group of us came together that were involved with marketing and health and wellness, and thought, well, what can we do so that we're not putting people at risk, people at high risk? How can we reach them and still give them what they need? And so really that was the initial conversations. And so what we started with, I can keep seeing everybody chat on the side and I keep just getting distracted. Terry will be worse than me, but that's what's happening. So we believe that we started with like just let's pre-record some videos and let's create a platform on our website so that people can choose to do the workout that they did with Terry at 10:30 in the morning, or the boot camp that they did with Gail at 4:30 on the Monday nights. And that's kind of where it started. But then when the governor closed us down, we quickly realized we ended up making about 12 videos. And as we were editing them, we realized that it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We needed to do more. And we continued to respond. It was almost like we were pivoting in every single direction that we could to try and keep up. And I think we did a really great job. And it evolved into way much more after that.
Yeah, wonderful. You know, it just seems like it keeps growing. Every time I hear about it, there's new activities and things going on. So on that point, so what all is being offered through Why at Home?
Well, I'll look at our gorgeous nanny Andy there, reading story time to the kids. You see her on the slide? Oh, go back.
Oh, sorry.
Kept.
There.
Anyway, there she is. That's a kind of, I love this picture. This just basically is the light of my life, watching this amazing volunteer of ours, Auntie Skorheim. She's actually a full-time nanny and she still works, but she has Mondays off and she wanted to get back to the community. And I was like, story time, you can do story time. And so she's been coming in and it's just phenomenal. And that's me sitting, all I do is watch the kids fidget and try to listen and pay attention and press on mute. It's the funnest thing I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, I digress. We started with some pre-recorded on the website. There's pre-recorded videos. We partnered also with the YUSA and got a bigger library of very professional pre-recorded videos called Y360. And then one thing that we've always offered to the Y was wellness appointments, which was a coaching appointment one-on-one with one of our certified staff to kind of help you get on track or keep you on track and just give you the support and accountability. And we realized there was a severe gap with that, and Terry will talk about the seniors, but with the seniors and then our new members. And so we ended up creating a virtual connection with them, which is going super, super well. And it's really, really fun to sit and talk to the people that are desperate for some support and connection. We started some live classes. Our members were really seeking to see each other and to see us live. And then by creating the live classes, we're able to create communication even, and all the Zoom people can see their friends, and Megan Pembroke can see Kelly Shepherd, and we know all these people and they know each other, and it's just, it kind of brought another ray of life and another connection to our members. We also offer family activities. So we've got 3 or 4 classes per day for group exercise, but to try and connect with the families as well. What I've noticed in the last 2 weeks is, I mean, there may be a lot of schoolwork for those elementary kids and the middle schoolers, but there's this little gap with the kindergartners and the preschoolers, which is why what Nanny Andy does is like so important, because it lets these little kids have a special Zoom time too, because their big sisters and big brothers are doing it. So it's pretty cool. And then the best thing though, I think, is the Facebook group, because we have a Y at Home Facebook group, and we have currently counted over 370 people on this, and each day we started the Facebook group because our normal Facebook, like our Everett YMCA Facebook and our Mill Creek Facebook, it doesn't give you opportunity to converse, and this new group gave you a forum where our members can say what they did today, or our members can lift each other up, or they can say they miss their pals, and we post things in there just to kind of get some fun going. And it's just an easy access to the links to the website, the links to the classes, etc.
Well, so just quickly, I think I'm putting some of that up on the visual for those that are on our Zoom today. Is there anything you want to say to these to help them understand? And then who the heck is that like super ripped person with what looks like an apron on in that image? Would that be you?
But you can't tell? That is like okay, seriously, if there's one thing I want gone, but when this is over, that is gone, okay? That picture, that screen, that thing has to go away. That's horrible. I'm like this.
That's awesome.
That could be me. That was way back, like 3 weeks ago, like so long ago, like a many, many million years ago. And when we did the pre-recorded videos, and
awesome.
Our marketing guy thinks it's hilarious. But
so quickly there on the side, we've got 4 steps. Is that how people actually tap into this? What do they do?
There's many ways to get to what you want to get to. But if you go to the website, it seems to be the easiest. But we've noticed like some people are navigating a little bit. It's not as like, there's a few steps. So basically the steps, if they go to the website, simple as that, and then go to the Y at Home header, and then it pulls up what you see, that weird girl there, and all the blue bits and stuff. There's underneath where that weird girl is, there's a part that says, register here, enter your name and your email. You need to enter your name and your email and submit that pretty much every time you go to the site. It's not a big deal. It remembers who you are. It does it. And then it opens up. On that right side, opportunities for virtual coaching. Just one click, you could click the branch that you feel you belong to, and you can click that branch and set up an appointment. Underneath that, there's the 360 videos. You can click on any one of those videos, completely able to access. There's also a MOSA Move, which MOSA is one of our group exercise partners at the Y. So if ever a member has come and done a together class, and MOSA Move have graciously offered, they've given 2 months of access to 30-minute videos, and they're really phenomenal, and it gives our members a piece of what they had at the Y that they recognize. And then there's links on that next schedule, the link that you have there there's a whole schedule, and they can click on the class that they want to attend. Once they click in the class and click on more details, they'll see that link, and they're good to go.
It's really pretty intuitive. I'll share, I was new to it, I didn't help build this. I just, from the comfort of my own home, I tapped into it, and it was super intuitive. I just got right to what I was looking for, and I really appreciate your thoughtful construction of this, Gail, and I'm sure there's a team of YMCA staff and also community members who've kind of helped shape some of this, and certainly some of the content.
I would say that our marketing team are phenomenal, like phenomenal. They have just responded so quickly. Their expertise and their wisdom and their insight is just amazing. But once anybody clicks into that site and put your name in, you'll get emails as well with links and all the information, because you're now registered at Y at Home.
Yeah, then the fun really begins.
Yeah.
Excellent. Was there anything else that?
You skipped a ton of things, but I'll just tell you what that is,
keep it
right?
rolling here, sister. Yeah. Keep it rolling.
Well, let me give you some like great numbers, and then you can shove me off. That's fine.
Okay.
So we have over 4,000 people have signed up for Y at Home on the website. Wow. They're unique people, and we've done over 70.
You mean unique, like different?
Yeah, like super unique.
Okay.
Jennifer. Yeah. Over 70 wellness appointments that we've conducted through. There's 3 coaches through the association that are serving, so it's busy job for us to do that, but over 70. There's close to 600 seniors active on our Y at Home, which is phenomenal. When Terry talks to you, maybe she'll get into the trickiness of a senior navigating these systems. And we've had over 1,000 people participate in the live classes, and we've only had them for 2 weeks. So pretty great.
That's amazing. Now, I guess I have one last question. As much as I love you and the energy you bring and everything, are you the one instructor? Because you're on the website and all that. So who else might, who might be there?
The live group exercise instructors. So basically, as you talked about our staff, we really have limited resources and staff, but we have experts still here. We have Melinda, she's the Health and Wellness Director at Mukilteo. We have Brooke, she's the Health and Wellness Director at Mill Creek. We have Tanya Price, she's the Health and Wellness Director up in Monroe, and Ruth Watkins, she's the Health and Wellness Director up in Stanwood.
Fantastic. So lots of familiar faces from around the county, and all of them doing some really fun, engaging work. So thanks, Gail. It's always so fun to connect with you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Oh, let's see. Oh, there's Terry. Hi, Terry Huffer.
Hi there.
So nice to see you this evening. Thanks for joining our town hall.
My pleasure. This is nice.
Yeah, good. Well, hey, you work with a particular group of our community, and I want you to just share a little bit about the work that you do. So, so we'll just start right there. What's the Y doing for our senior community right now?
So I've got a group of volunteers that are made up of seniors, and they're my senior advisory committee, and they are making phone calls to all of our active older adults and connecting with them one-on-one, and they're having a great time doing that. And they are being uplifted as well as the lives that they are touching one-on-one. Our senior advisory committee is made up of 7 people, and not only is it, like I said, bringing joy to them and the conversation that we're checking in on, it's twofold. It brings joy all the way around. But connecting with others helps you maintain a positive mood and ward off depression. And in addition, it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging. So it's connecting everybody back to the why.
Well, and I think, you know, our seniors are part of the segment of the more at-risk folks right now, and that isolation thing is serious. I mean, it's serious certainly for all of us, but I suspect that they are a lot of folks who early on had to stay home and will be more protracted on staying home, and being able to connect and have community and have caring people like yourself and your senior advisory committee. It's really significant. So that's fantastic. So I kind of, you know, led to it, but why did the Y start the programs that we're doing, and what was the catalyst?
We wanted to make sure that our seniors were doing well. You know, it's a population where many of them are single anyways, and the YMCA is a connection. It's the hub for them to be in the community. They come there almost on a daily basis, and the connections, the friendships that they made, the social groups, the exercise, it's a lifeline for so many people. And we needed to continue that, because we know that isolation causes depression, and then the more that they're at home and not with people and seeing that other people other than their family and talking to family, those people they see on a day-to-day basis are huge. It's a huge part of their life. And we really need that human connection with them. Yeah,
so important. So tell me about some of the, you mentioned phone calls, but tell me about some of the services that you guys are providing, and really kind of what you guys are up to in terms of supporting our senior community. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw an image up on the screen that's going to share some of that, I think.
So besides the exercise classes, we have a lot of groups that meet. We have a grief support group that meets every week, and we have coffee groups that meet 3 days a week. We have people that come in the community and they play mahjong a couple days a week. We have all kinds of volunteer committees. Like I said, it's a community hub and a huge resource for our seniors. And what we're providing, like Gail mentioned, are the virtual classes, both at home, where they can exercise to the videos that we've provided, or they can be engaged in the live classes. And the live classes are so amazing. We have anywhere from 55 to 65 active older adults participating in those classes. And it is so fun. I have had so many people say it is the next best thing to being in class. It has also allowed people to exercise in their own home and try an exercise class for the first time without feeling like they don't have the beat or they're not keeping up. It's work at your own pace, and they're really enjoying that. We also have group sessions. We have meditation classes, and like Gail said, family activities. We have coffee connections on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:45, and that's a lot of fun. They really do enjoy seeing each other and talking with each other. I feel like the bad guy when I have to hit the button for end meeting, because we do have to go sometimes, but they really just want to look at each other and talk. And this picture right here is our coffee group that meets, and they just wanted to get and meet socially distancing with their masks on. They just needed to connect with each other. And our grief support group met yesterday morning at 10:30, which they will be meeting every other Wednesday at 10:30 in the parking lot. And again, it's just like this, a big circle of people, and just really connecting with each other.
And you said in the parking lot. What parking lot is that?
They are at the Y.
Which YMCA?
They're at the Mill Creek YMCA.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. Just in case that picture wasn't familiar to everyone.
Yeah, they're in the upper lot, so.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. So let's see, have you got any feedback from our seniors in terms of what this might be meaning to them, or what they'd like to see differently, or what kind of feedback have you had?
I do. I have a few people who have responded back. If we don't touch base with a senior one-on-one on the phone, sometimes they might not recognize the phone number. So we follow it up with an email, and we email back, and they respond to that. And one person said, just trying the online exercise classes, both cardio fitness and the chair yoga, I can't thank you enough. Not only does it get me moving, but it gives me a chance to try out some new classes that I would have been hesitant to do in person. I'm hoping that when things reopen, I'll be more comfortable about continuing these classes and trying new things at the Y. I also so appreciated the phone call that I received. It was nice to have someone check in on me, and it gave me a little push to do these classes. You are good for me. And another woman said, I was so thankful to get a check-in call this week from Dave Fisher. He was a delightful moment and a very depressing day. Thank you so much for doing this.
That's fantastic. Really nice. I happen to know Dave Fisher myself, and if he called me, I know that would brighten my day. So, yeah,
you know, it's really sweet, because on these calls, they are our seniors are probably spending 20 to 30 minutes each phone call. Phone call. And
I believe it.
They're starved for conversation, and one of our volunteers started to end the conversation, and she goes, "Oh no, do you have to go? I'm having so much fun."
Yeah,
so
I think that's how people will feel about this town hall. Honestly, I think we're there.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to go.
It's all contagious excitement. It's all contagious.
Hey Terry, if people want to get involved, what are some different ways that they can get involved with what you're doing, and or how to support it, or what can they do?
Well, you can join an exercise class. We have AOA classes Monday through Friday at 10:30. They're consistent. We have chair yoga Tuesdays, Thursdays, cardio fitness Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And
do you get those through that same platform that Gail showed us? Is that how you do it? Okay, cool. That's easy.
Yeah.
And what if somebody just thought the work you're doing is so awesome, and I know it costs money to have staff and to make these things happen, and what if I just want to support you? What could I do?
Well, first of all, join in a class, bring your friend, tell them about the YMCA. And again, we love the support. We love that everybody's staying with us. We're a big deal. We're here in the community for everybody. And just invite a friend, tell them what you're doing. They're sharing what they're doing. We had a sister join from Iowa, one of the classes, and she was so thrilled to introduce her sister and say, this is what I do. This is what I'm doing. And people are able to share and to participate with these classes, and just give the Y a try. Give the Y a try.
Perfect. Thank you, Terry. I think, your closing comments there, that, to echo back to what I opened with, the they is us. So, if you know somebody out there that would benefit from connecting in this way, you are the conduit. Don't wait for some they, although they'll hear about it, they'll figure it out. No, you're the they. Make it happen. Tell them what you heard.
Yes, absolutely. I always like to say, when people say you are the conduit, and that's because you conduit.
Ba-dum-bum. With that, Terry, I'm gonna sign off from you. Thank you so much, Terry. Really appreciate it. Hey, Pam Shields.
Hello. You're gonna make me follow.
Hi. Yes, I'm gonna make you follow Terry. Thank you, first of all, for being patient and spending your evening with us. I know you work long days supporting a lot of teens and bigs and littles in our community. So thank you for hanging on and being a part of this. So I know you've shared in other town halls about Big Brothers Big Sisters, but could you just give us a 10-second, why is Big Brothers Big Sisters here at a town hall for YMCA?
Well, we are an affiliate of the YMCA since 2001. We have been connected, and we now operate out of the Everett YMCA as of December. So we are thrilled to finally be in the Y. So that's why we're here, and you invited us. So.
Well, it's a fantastic partnership. I know that for a fact. You guys are best in class youth mentoring, and we happen to do a few things with youth around our place also. So that marriage between us, that partnership has really strengthened the Y and the work that we do, and I think it's strengthened the work that you guys do. So we're just thrilled that you're part of our organization and that we get to be part of yours. So as I said at the beginning, Big Brothers Big Sisters continues to do really important work right now, even today, I bet. So can you tell me what's going on? What are you guys up to?
Yeah, we are open. Well, we're not physically open. We're all working remotely from home, but we are all working. We, our national office, Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, got on the ball very quickly when it was clear that social distancing was going to be a thing across the country. And they worked on some waivers for us so that we could continue to serve the kids and the bigs that we have in our program. So, you know, a lot of what we do is in person. And so that is now we're able to interview on virtually like this. We can, as long as we can visually see somebody, we can interview them. That includes volunteer mentors and families. And we can make match introductions like this too, which is awesome. I think we've done 3 so far, which
Wow.
you know, they're always a little awkward anyway because they're new people meeting and one of the people is a kid and sometimes they're really outgoing and sometimes shy. But I've heard that they're going really well and that's exciting because we really thought we were going to have to stop bringing in new kids. But we are still serving all the kids that are already matched, and so that includes, you know, still checking in with them every month and making sure that everything is fine. And you know, our case managers tell us that their bigs and littles are being very creative in how they're hanging out with each other, and some play video games online, some FaceTime, some have Zoom meetings. We have a big sister and little sister who are reading books together, so they read and then they come back together and they discuss the book. I got a photo today, unfortunately, just as we were coming online for this. One of our littles had a birthday and her big drove by and dropped off a gift at the garage, and the little girl is doing some aerial things with it's awesome pictures, but unfortunately I didn't get them in here in time. But this was a really neat thing, the pictures that are up right now. So we have had a 9-year partnership with Comcast in Linwood. And for 9 years, we have bused kids from Woodside Elementary over to the Comcast call center, and they've met with their bigs twice a month. Well, this year, Comcast gifted all of our littles iPads. And so while we were meeting with the kids in class, they were using the iPads to do things in class, but they didn't realize that those iPads were theirs to keep. And so once we realized that schools were closed and these guys weren't going to be able to meet with their bigs anymore, our staff drove to their homes and delivered the iPads to them. And you can tell that they were super excited. And I understand that the young man in the gray jacket insisted on going inside and putting on his coat before we took a picture of him. So that's really, really special.
Yeah, that's just really heartwarming. So sweet. So sweet. So I want to just, you know, sort of pretend that we can look into the future a little bit with Big Brothers Big Sisters in particular. Right now, I think you referenced, you guys are new in the new Everett YMCA. So finally, we get to have your organization permanently embedded in one of our branches. And as much as that's something that, you know, we all celebrate, are excited about, I don't think we feel like that's enough. And we have a vision for more. And I'm wondering if you would just share a little bit about kind of what that vision for more is, because frankly, there might be people that are listening and watching right now that don't live in Everett, but are really thinking about, wow, the Marysville Y is my place, but they don't have that. So, oh well. So now what?
Yeah, well, we do serve the entire county. And it's funny that you say Marysville because we actually have quite a few kids waiting in Marysville and we just don't have the bigs for them. So if you do live in Marysville and are interested, same with Stanwood. We have several kids waiting in Stanwood and also in the Linwood area. So, and you know, it fluctuates. We generally have at any given time about 85 kids waiting for a big. And since we're matching all the time, obviously, and that number stays the same, we constantly have kids hitting that weight pool. Some of our kids, especially boys, some can wait 2 years because we just don't have the right mentor. We try to move them through very quickly as we can, but it's a science, or it's not a science. It's just because you're the next on the list doesn't mean you're going to be matched next. Like it's really about who lives close to you, who has the same interest. We're really intentional about matching the right big and little because we want there to be longevity and we want it to be fun. We want there to be a connection. So, you know, the ideal is that Big Brothers Big Sisters is in every Y, so that we are
Right.
physically actually in every corner of the county. And so I think, you know, Peyton has said to me, think big. And I think he must think I'm crazy, because I'm like, okay, if we just had 25 matches at every branch, that would double the number of kids we're serving, just 25. And I think he thinks you need to think a little bit bigger, which, I mean, possibilities are endless, and it would be amazing to have hundreds of matches at each branch. It would be incredible. But, you know.
Well, do you have any doubt that there's hundreds of kids out there that could use? Yeah, me either. So let's make that our vision and see how we make that happen. And maybe just in closing with you, Pam, how can people get involved? Like, you know, they're a little, they have a little, they're a big, they're thinking about being a big, or maybe they just have a few, you know, dollars that they'd like to help you with.
Sure. They can do everything online. So we're bbbs-snoco.org. You can start an application to be a big, you can start an application to be a little. You can certainly donate there, and we welcome every gift, and you know, it all goes to programs. So, and you know, because we're doing things virtually right now, a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands, and you know, getting the interview out of the way right now while you have time, and I just, the need for mentors as we climb out of this is going to be huge, because as Terry was talking about with seniors, the social isolation piece is huge for these kids, and a lot of our kids are in homes that are already unstable, and so now they're forced to be there all the time, and so that's just, I think that we will see an increased need when things start to open back up.
Boy, that's a really important message, Pam. You know, I'm glad you brought that forward, because you're right. You know, there's a lot of kids that are going to have a lot of needs, you know, particularly those who, as you said, are in unstable homes already, but even kids that are in perfectly stable homes. This is uncharted territory, and having someone else out there in their life that can help them navigate some of their emotions and just the waters of what they're walking through. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Well, hey, that's just about going to conclude our time together tonight. For those of you who are watching and listening, I just really want to thank you. I want to thank you for being part of our YMCA and Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. I want to remind you that they is us, that you are us. We do this together. This work is we are staff-driven and volunteer-led, which means that those of us on the screen are here to realize the needs of the community, and those needs are lifted up by you. So if you like what you heard, if there's something here that you're interested in, engage with us. We've got websites, we've got phone numbers, we've got emails, we've got all kinds of ways that you can connect. And because my job, as I opened with, is the Chief Development Officer, I want to let you know that your dollars matter. And if you are inclined to make a gift to the YMCA or to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Snohomish County, we will be tremendously grateful, and your dollars will be well stewarded. So you can do that on our website as well. It's ymca-snoco.org/donate. Lots of people have given generously. That's, you know, they have enabled us to provide no-cost childcare and to reach out to seniors and to be there for our bigs and littles, and frankly, to make sure that our Y at Home platform is available to all kinds of folks who need it. You heard Terry reference it in her conversation. There's stuff for little kids and families. So make a gift, give generously. This is a time to give generously and lift up your community in partnership with the YMCA. So we wish you a good night, and I hope that you'll tune in to the next town hall meeting. It'll be, I think, in 1 week, sometime next week. I'll get more information about that. And with that, a final wave, and whoops, I've got that funky background. There we go. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of this.